Thank you. Had a really good week of practice so far. Again, want to just publicly thank everybody in the Fiesta Bowl and Mike and everybody involved. We've had a really good week here, and spent Christmas away from home yesterday, and it makes it a lot easier when you're away from home when you get treated so well here, and greatest people who have helped us all along the way. So we've had a good week of practice that way, and looking forward to a great game against a really good team in Clemson. And as we prepared this week and watched film, not only are they really talented, but they're very, very well coached. So it's a tremendous challenge. Had a good week of practice. We're looking forward to Saturday.
We've got a question right here on the right in the back.
Coach, we were talking about Irving just a few minutes ago, and he kind of made it seem like the key to the game was the first 7 minutes, how both teams respond to another team that's at equal talent level. What do you do to prepare a team to come out in that first 7 minutes and, respond to adversity and not make the stage too big?
I think you just talk to the team about it. When you have a mature team, you give them what you think is going to happen in the game, and you play it out so that they can prepare for that. And I think anytime you play in any type of game, you have to prepare physically. You have to get your body ready. You have to prepare mentally, know what you're doing, but then emotionally and spiritually. And I think that's a part of this, is understanding the electricity that's going to come with the game, and it'll be on hyperspeed there for the first quarter, and just preparing for that and understanding that that's the way the game's going to go down. And being able to respond to that. But our guys have played in big games. They played in big environments, so I don't think that'll be advantage to either side. Clemson's played unbelievable games here in the last couple of years. So, you just talk to the team, about it, and then you prepare the best you can.
Question here on the far right.
Ryan, before practice Tuesday, you seemed pretty fired up. Yesterday, you guys came out, looked like you're having a more fun message. How does a coach decide what is the best approach on a given day?
You take it day to day. That's one of the things that I've talked about this year. I think our coaching staff's done a great job of is, with our team and with this generation, it's kind of day to day. It's just the way it is. And we've had great practices. Preparing for this game has almost been like a bye week. It's happened so fast, and we've done a really good job, I think, of preparing the guys for that. But, when it's Christmas, you got to have some fun with them, and we had some fun. They're away from home, especially some of the younger guys who've never done that before, their first time away from home for Christmas. So, we want to have a lot of fun and make sure that they understand that this is their family away from home. But then some of the other practices have been really spirited, really physical, and there's a lot on the line here, and they know that, and our coaching staff knows that, and again, I thought we've had a good week.
Second row on the left.
Right, the 2013 bowl game against Clemson was the impetus for a defensive change in Ohio State. The 2016 bowl game against Clemson was the impetus to bring you here. Is this as well-fashioned a team that you put together to be ready for Clemson again?
I think I talked to the team the other day. I'm not ready for this team to be done. More than anything, I love this team. I love these kids. I love this coaching staff. What they've done, together as a group, but just personally, what they've done for me in my first time as a head coach. They'll always have a place in my heart. And like we said, we're not ready for this thing to be over. So we're fighting for that too. We want to continue to play after this and keep this team together. And I do. I think that these guys are excited to play in this game, and it's time to go play and find out where we're at. You don't know until you're in those games, and it goes back to fundamentals and understanding how you take care of the ball and tackling and those type of things. So our veteran players have to play veteran. The good players have to play good. That's how it goes in games like this.
We'll stay on the left, fourth row.
Ryan, could you just describe what this last year has been like for you? To replace a legend like Urban Meyer, and you're undefeated your first season as a head coach, and now you're getting ready to get in the playoffs. What has this been like for you?
Well, it's been day to day, week to week, and again, it sounds cliche, but it's something that we've talked about from the get-go. And one of the things that you can't get overwhelmed with is the expectations, because they're so high here, and the margin for error is so small. But when you surround yourself with great coaches, when you surround yourself with great players and leaders, and recruit great families, that's what helps, and you rely on them. But it's been quite a year, and I think that. Our guys, as the season has gone on, have built a better chemistry. Our coaching staff has built that as well. And so now we're to this point now. And we talked about this way back in February, that we wanted to be in this moment. Well, we're in the moment right now. And now it's all about preparing the best we can, spending every moment we can, being ready for this spot, and to go play as great as we can. And then the thing is, when we get into that thing, we have to be bold. You know, we have to come out of the gates and be aggressive, and that's the way we've played all year, and we have to continue to do that in big games.
Next question. Right here on the far left.
Brian Dennis, CBS Sports Digital, following up on the era coaches that coached for 30 years just to try to get to this spot. You've reached it in your first year. What do you do for an encore for the next 10 years?
Well, I try not to think about that. I tried not to worry about that when we started here last January, knowing what Coach Meyer had done leading up to this point. Because again, when you focus on that, you can get yourself overwhelmed. And but yeah, it's been a great season. You know, couldn't have hoped for anything better up to this point. Now it's just a matter, can we go finish this thing off the way that we wanted to, all the way from the get-go. And it's all about the players, though. It's about the leaders. It's about the guys on this team who have built that camaraderie, and they played great. And now, it's, again, games like this, it comes down to the players. It's not plays. It's not coaches. It's the players playing great, and they're the ones who deserve the credit in the end.
Back row on the left.
Ryan, what would be your words for,
Yep.
okay, what would be your words for the collection of talent that's going to be on that field Saturday, coming on side?
Pretty impressive. I mean, when you look at the guys on both sides of the ball on both teams, you got a lot of NFL players there who are going to be playing for a long time. So it's going to be fun to see those guys playing against each other and competing. But you talk about a collection of power, speed, you know, strength. You know, you kind of look on both sides. It's there. You know, Clemson's, they're strong, they're powerful, they're tough. So are we. They're fast. They have speed. We have speed. So they have a really good quarterback. We have a really good quarterback. They have a really good running back. We have a really good running back. It goes back and forth. And so it's an equated game, and it'll be fun to watch.
Second row on the left.
Yeah, Coach Clay Hall, ABC6, Fox 28 in Columbus. There was a moment in practice the other day you were kind of messing around with the big guys, and they kind of picked you up on their shoulders. It looked like a scene maybe out of Rudy. Can you talk about the affinity for each other there and what, I don't know what that means that you're tight with them?
Well, we have moments like that a lot in practice that, you know, people don't see. That just happened to be a time, I think, where the media was there. We were just having fun on Christmas. We've been doing it for years. You got Mick on the microphone. We had him go through the gate, and just something to have fun with him on Christmas, you know. And then the offensive line decided they wanted to come tackle me, and you know, so it's just stuff like that happens all the time. And I think that's what makes this team great, is that we have a huge game ahead of us, but they also know that it's about enjoying being here, enjoying each other. It's this family atmosphere, and I talk to them all the time, is don't take it for granted and don't just let it go by. Appreciate each other, appreciate being on this team, because it's going to be gone one day. And, you know, you're in it right now. So enjoy it, but also understand what's at stake.
Fourth row on the left.
Brian, you said try not to think about replacing someone like Urban, you know, to be overwhelming. How are you able to do that, though?
You do the best you can to rely on who you are as a person and be yourself. But then also, you know, you're not in this thing alone. You know, when you're part of a coaching staff, you're the head coach. It's your job, but you're not in it alone. You have the coaching staff. You know, we got Coach Mick. We have you know, all of our operations people. There's so many people that are involved with this thing. Is that, you know, we're in this. It's us. It's not just you isolated. And you know, that's kind of my style, is that I like to have everybody involved with it. You like to empower the coordinators, empower the Mick, empower, you know, Mark Pantoni in recruiting, and you hire those guys to do a job and run it together. And then when it comes down to the players, it's their team. You know, I talk to them all the time. The best teams I've been around, the leaders run the team. The offensive line runs the offense. The guys on defense, you know, the leaders over there run the defense. And then when you do that, you know you're all in it together. So when you look to the right, you look to the left, you know that you're in this thing with a group of guys you trust. Then that's what gets you up in the morning. And, you know, you want to make sure you're doing a good job for them. And that's what special teams are made of.
First row on the left.
Greg Moore, Arizona Republic, USA Today Network. Good to see you, Coach. I'm curious, what have the seniors or people around the program said about the last experience, this bowl game, these two programs, and how has that influenced your preparations going into this game?
It hasn't, other than the fact that we know what happened, but I wasn't here, and most of the team wasn't here either. I mean, you know, there's a good portion of them that weren't here. And I think that we were aware of what happened, but at the same time, this is a very, very different team. They're a different team. We're in a different spot, different coaching staff, different players altogether. So it's certainly a reference point, but it's not something we've talked a lot about.
Any other questions? Back to the fourth row on the left.
Ryan, what has Jordan Fuller meant to this team? Obviously, he's been here for a long time, and great student as well. What has his impact been for this team?
Jordan's been unbelievable. You know, he's a Campbell Trophy finalist, and what he's done off the field, what he's done on the field. And as that free safety, he's kind of been the quarterback back there. He gets us into the right stuff. He's a mature. It's like having a coach out there. I mean, he's as close to a coach player as I've been around. Just handles business the right way, does everything the right way, and he's had a great year on the field. Played at a high level. So, you know, when it comes to on the field production, off the field, the way he handles himself, the way he's in the meeting room, getting guys aligned, he's been a huge part of our success on defense this year.
Back row on the right.
Yeah, Coach, Steve Hellwagon with Bucknuts 24/7 Sports. Each of your last two games, you guys have been a little slow out of the gate. I think the opponent has gone down and scored on the first possession, Michigan and Wisconsin. How important will it be for you guys to get off to a fast start? Because with the way that they play offense, it could be 14 or 21 to nothing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you always want to start fast, and you know, I thought both times, you know, the last couple games, they've had a good, you know, plan coming out of the gates, and I thought our defense did an excellent job of adjusting as the game went on. And when you look at the last two games, the second half, our defense played lights out. But certainly, we want to always start fast. I think that's important. We had great games where we started fast this year, and that'll be important. But at the same time, it's 4 quarters, and in a game like this, you have to be willing to play 4 quarters. You know, you're not just going to blow a team out in the first quarter, first half in a game like this. It's going to go 4 quarters. You get it into the fourth quarter, and then you go from there. But a fast start certainly helps.
Far left here.
Stuart Mandel from The Athletic. Ryan, Ohio State, from Jim Tressel to Urban Meyer, now to you. You guys never seem to have a dip. You're always in national title contention, and that's not necessarily true for other big branding programs out there. You have that period of mediocrity recently. What is it about Ohio State school program that allows you guys to maintain consistency from one coach to another?
Well, I think in the most recent case, it was you know, the stability of Gene Smith and his foresight to promote from within. You know, he never flinched in this thing, and you know, I'm forever in debt to he and Sheila for what they've done for us. But I think that was a huge decision that was made, and you know, the hiring of Coach Meyer was huge, and you know, he's a great coach, and so is Coach Tressel, and you know, I think they've hired great people there. But Buckeye Nation and the support that you get when you're at Ohio State and the way that they adopt you is unlike any place I've ever been or seen. And you know, although I'm not from Ohio, I quickly was indoctrinated to what it means to be a Buckeye, and what you know, what the rivalry game means, and how important these games are to the people of Ohio. And when you grab onto that and you realize how important that is, and you feel that, you know, week in and week out, it's really cool. And I think that has a lot to do with it, is the support you have from Buckeye Nation, not only in Ohio but throughout the country. You know, no matter where you go, you feel that support. And I think that Block O is, you know, stood the test of time, and I think that has a big part of it.
We'll take 2 more questions here. We have one in the second row on the left.
Ryan, JK was talking the other day about Ohio State is the most disrespected team in the nation, going back to being not picked to win the Big Ten, and we dropped it in the polls. How much are you guys using that? How much have you used that in this poll?
Well, I mean, you know, we know going in, it doesn't really matter what people think of us. What matters is what we put on the field, and it's the same thing now. You know, we're not getting into that too much. And if you want respect, go beat the defending national champs who have won 28 straight games. So we got our opportunity. So whatever people think, they think. And then at the end of the game, what matters is what they think on Saturday night. So we have an opportunity to go win the game. And you know, you want respect, then you got to go beat these guys. And you know, what better team to do it against than defending national champs, who are very, very good, and they've been good for a long time now.
Last question here on the far right.
Hey Ryan, Dave Holmes, WDNS. You won 13 in a row this year, 3 last year as the head coach of the interim basis. 16 in a row for you, but when you see 28 in a row, I'm curious, knowing how hard 16 is, your perspective on really not 28 in a row.
Yeah, I actually said it to Coach last night. We were at an event together, and I said it's hard to win 28 games against the air. I mean, I don't know how you do that, win 28 games. That's unbelievable. I think it just goes to show you the stability he's had in his staff there. and their ability to, stay focused throughout that time. Because all it takes is a couple of times the ball's on the ground or the ball bounces one way or another, and you lose a game. And so the consistency's been there, and nothing but respect for what they've done during this run.